All right, so I looking on your Instagram, and you had some great quotes um, that I want to dissect a little bit. One of them, some people are only good for their looks. Some women are only good for their looks, and some men are only good for the money they possess. But the problem is, others make them feel like that's all they need. That's a Chad Black quote.
Oh yeah, that's real. You know, it's crazy hearing my stuff. I'm like, damn, I wrote that. Yeah. That's a good job. Yeah. How do you feel
My
about that?
brain. I'm mad in my brain because I've always said I feel like when women allow themselves to be very revealing, and that's the equivalent of a man with a flashy car or Rolex. They're
Mm,
just dangling. They're
right.
just flashy. But in this society, the value of a woman um, predominantly, our society projects and tries to tell us that it's wrapped up in her beauty, and the value of a man, society tries to project that it's wrapped up in their finances. Or
Mm.
when you don't have, and I think it's extremely dangerous because if you're not the most beautiful or you're not the wealthiest, then what does that do for you?
It's a shame that we think this way. I was just telling somebody a couple days ago, it's like we are conditioned in a way where we're stupid. Because we follow these things and don't think about them ourselves. So you ever hear about a person get killed, maybe a bad way, maybe a young lady get killed, and the first thing they say is, "Oh my gosh, she was so beautiful." Like that matters. Like the way she died was just terrible. Why does it have to be like a outpour or outcry because a beautiful person didn't have to die like that? And I just feel like, quote unquote, what about the ugly people, right? What about the people that are ugly? Do we not care about them? Even though we know, me and you as smart people understand that, beauty is subjective and beauty is in the eye of the beholder. We're just conditioned to believe that like a deemed beautiful person by the world is undeniably a beautiful person, and that's not always true. I'd rather you be a beautiful person internally than a beautiful person externally. um, and you can't always blame that beautiful person, or you can't always blame that man with the money, because this is what the world promotes them to be. This is what they know. It's really all that they know, and sometimes that's all they possess because they've gotten everything that they wanted by those two things. By her being beautiful, she got any man she ever wanted, or anything that she ever wanted to attain, she got basically on how she blinks. And a man has got anything and everything he wants, and the attention and the friends and the family and all of the outpouring of success, um, based upon what he could provide. And when that's all you have, that's very, very dangerous, because come on. Sometimes they say a dumb blind. It's like you're dumb. Like your look gets you everywhere you want to go, but you are dumb as a brick. You know what I mean? So it's like, what else do you provide? And you get into those situations, which is in my book. I talk about that too. It says, it's crazy you said that. It's who are you without things? And that all derived from the fact that when I was in the hospital, I just had a gown with my butt out, and that's all I did had. Because when I went to the hospital, I was so sick. All I had was my phone and my clothes. They took my clothes and put me on a gown. So who are you without the Gucci? Who are you without the nice car? Who are you without the nice jewelry? You have to be able to have a personality that'll get you the things that you want. Now, because of who I was and who I am internally, I was able to get extra hot sauces in there. I was able to get real good toothpaste, wash rags, everything that I wanted because of who I was. And I just think that if we recognize it, you gotta add more than just what you provide, and you gotta add more than just how you look.
I completely agree. Um, I hate that concept, but I can't act as if it's not a concept that rules the world.
For sure.
It definitely rules the world. I'm big on character.
Mm-hmm.
Um, People talk about legacy. Oh yeah, I'm breaking generational curses, and I think it's a beautiful conversation to have. I just think the conversation that we're having and the way in which we're having it is very small. We're only speaking in the places where it's comfortable for us to talk. We can talk about money. That's easy. That's an easy fix,
Mm-hmm.
because it actually fixes nothing. It solves nothing. Um, we really need to work on character being how you judge a man. Um, wasn't that Martin Luther King's thing?
Thanks. But do you think that that's supposed to be subjective on how you judge a person, or do you feel like we should have this one way fits all for everybody, for men and women?
I think you're speaking on as far as character.
Right. You say you judge people based upon their
The
character.
character. Hmm.
Right. So should that be all across the board how everybody judges a person?
That's how I judge people. I can't tell
Okay.
other people what to do.
Okay.
Um, and I'm biased because that's just the way that I was raised and groomed. Um, but I also find that looking at a person's character lets me know if they're a good fit for me or not.
For sure.
Your money doesn't tell me if I can trust you to watch my son.
Mm.
It doesn't really tell me anything. It just tells me you have a lot of it.
Hmm.
And a lot of people don't even understand the value of money. They are more wrapped up in the intrinsic value of money, which is just paper. Um, when people tell me that they love money and they value money, it scares me. It's a trigger. It,
Mm.
it, it makes me run.
It's a red flag.
It's a red flag for me because who loves money? You don't.
Mhm.
I don't have a fascination with money. I need money in order to have access to the things so that I can provide the experiences that I want to provide for my family. That's what money is
Mm.
for me. It's not really the money. It's the experiences on the other side that I'm caught up in.
Mm.
Somebody may say that that's weird, but that's how I view that. Um, so that was an interesting take on things, based on just a small quote that you posted. I thought it was pretty dope. I have a
Thank you.
few more. Let me go here. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Oh no, I had a follow-up question. Sorry.
Mhm.
What can we do to invalidate that from being a fact? How can we make that no longer a fact?
Uh, man, that is a great question, and I'm going to have to say I don't know because it's very hard to get two or three people on board with something. So to get a whole world on board with a way of thinking is almost impossible. Um, but I just feel like you find out what you really value. We've all understood that a person with money can't always save us, and we recognize that a person with good looks can't always save us. So it works for certain people, but there'll be a time where it doesn't. And that's when people will start to change. Like, I need to start thinking better. I need to stop being so naive. I need to stop being so delusional or gullible to what this man can provide or what this woman's looks can do. So the ugly man who's deemed ugly by the world, who gets played by the woman, it'll be a battle when the ugly versus when the beautiful fights the rich, because those two are synonymous, right? So a beautiful woman wants a man with money, but when the man with money finds out that the woman really didn't love him, then that's when the things will start to change. And when the beautiful woman realized that the man didn't even care about her, he just had money. It's easy to give you $10,000 when I'm worth $2.5 million, right? Money doesn't have a value. That's just like me giving you what, 2.5 cents a dollars. I don't know the math. I'm terrible with it, but you get the point. I just think that those two will have to battle each other, and when those two battle each other, then they'll teach the world that it's not as important as we deem it to be.
Will they ever battle each other? I'm trying
Yeah.
to think of a reason, because if the wealthy are in the company of the beautiful, beauty is also considered to be wealth. They're basically amongst themselves and their peers. So I don't know if there would be a reason for battle, because what I've noticed in society is men have become very comfortable with paying for beauty, and women have become very comfortable with accepting compensation for
Mm.
their beauty. So they've continuously prostituted and hoard themselves out to each other.
I agree 100%. But when women understand their value, we're just going to use the beautiful women. I mean, the women in general, because there are guys who have looks and think that they're whatever. But
No, they are. They
right,
are.
there are. But I'm just speaking for women. Like just an example. Like if women start to really understand their value and understand the definition of what prostitution is, or understand the definition of tricking, right? And they don't believe in it. Like most of them would be like, I don't believe in tricking and prostitution, ill, but you're doing it, right? So when you recognize it and you start to say, I'm worth more than that, and you start to do for yourself, then what happens when a man is worth $5 billion and he's stuck in the middle of the desert and his nice car that's worth $2 million breaks down? And the closest thing to civilization is 500 miles. Imagine what happens when a person's money isn't valid. Like your money doesn't mean anything. So when you try to get that woman, or you that NBA player in the club, and you like, I'm LeBron James and I'll make this amount of money. What's up? Come to my crib. And she said, that hurts the man's ego. So there has to be a fight of a person knowing that their strength, where like that's when the wrath will change. The tide will change, I'll say.
I hope so.
Wishful thinking, but who knows?
It was hypothetical. We're just gonna pray that it changes in our lifetime.
Right.
And just stay optimistic.
Right.
Okay.